Hi all, welcome to the final whistle. It's that time again. It's the Premier League weekend again, and we're here for another match preview. It's the relegation 6 points of this one isn't it? Southampton versus Leicester. There's quite a lot riding on this game. It's 14th versus 20th in the Premier League. So I'll be joined by Jason. He'll be talking with me regarding what to expect, what he thinks is going to happen in the game. Obviously, Jason's a Leicester fan. I couldn't get a Southampton fan tonight. I do apologise, but we're going to talk all things Leicester ahead of the game. We're going to go through games with Southampton and all that. Guys, if you can, smash a like on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and let's get this match preview underway, shall we? And I'll see you in just a minute. Hi all, welcome to tonight's show, the match preview for Southampton versus Leicester. A massive game for both sides. This one a must-win for the Foxes, though, as we look to get away from the relegation battle. You're in it, and then you're not, and then you are, and it's a bit up and down like Leicester's season. So it's not going to be an easy game, but for anyone says a 4-5-0 or something like that. It's going to be a bit of an edgy game for both sides because both sides need the points. Leicester obviously are ahead of Southampton by 6 points. So it makes for an interesting game in the 5:30 at St Mary's. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting Saturday evening for sure. Let's smash a like for me, guys, if you enjoyed the stream tonight. Really appreciate everyone coming in and joining me. Get your comments in. Let me know who you think's going to win this one. Let me know. And a foot in both camps. We've got that coming up later on in the show. So that'll be an interesting one. See if you remember any of these familiar faces. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed already. Really appreciate that. And let's get a few good evenings in. Hello, Jason. Must-win game tomorrow it is. Let's get my guest in, Jason. Jason, how are you from St Mary's, mate?
Evening, how are you?
Yes, I'm good. So we're at St Mary's, Jason. The background says it all. Southampton away. We've got to really turn it on, haven't we, Jason?
And after last week's. Yeah, I mean that result was pretty pathetic. So we can't get any. I don't think we can get much worse than that, can we? We've definitely got to see an improvement tomorrow. Hopefully, bringing away 3 points as well.
Yeah, it's a must-win, isn't it, Jason? I mean, we talked about Brendan Rodgers' press conference yesterday. Wout Fast said it's 100%. We must go and win the game. And then Brendan Rodgers is like, well, it's not a must-win game. We've still got 14 games to play in the season. But where we are in the league, Jason, it says it all, doesn't it, from the players' mentality to the managers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're far from out of it yet. We won those 2 games via Villa and Spurs, and it looked like we were kind of starting to pull away a little bit. But then, obviously, results since then, we're still very much in a relegation battle down there. There's still 6, 7, maybe 8 teams who could be involved in that little sort of mini league going on down there. And yeah, if we, 3 points tomorrow, and it looks a little bit better, but. I mean, you talk about how many points guarantees your safety every year. I think the past couple of years, if you get to 37, 38 points, I think that's usually about enough. So I think, if we win tomorrow and then hopefully push on from there, get to that 38, maybe 40 points, and then just write the season off and then concentrate on next season.
Yeah, these are the games that Leicester must win. These are the games we look at every season and think they're the points to where we need to get the games out of. We don't really worry about Man City, Arsenal, Man United. Mm-hmm. It's the Southamptons, the West Hams, and the Evertons and all that. Mm-hmm. But Jason, you've got Crystal Palace now, who are not many points from the relegation battle either. You've got Forest, you've got Leicester, you've got Wolves, you've got Leeds, you've got Everton, you've got West Ham, you've got Bournemouth, and you've got Southampton. You've got 8 teams in there, Jason. 8 teams. It's a fight for them, all them teams, isn't it, Jason? They're all going to be looking over their shoulder and they'll all want to get away from it quite quickly, won't they, Jason?
Oh, definitely. I mean, the old cliche is you're never too good to go down. I mean, there's some massive teams down there. You look at Everton. Whoever thought they'd be in the bottom 3? They're a massive club. Like as ourselves. You've got Villa down there, Palace. All these teams fighting for survival. Who you would probably put, mid-table upwards on any normal given season. But yeah, it's just turned into a right old scrap. And as I say, we need to win tomorrow. If we don't win tomorrow, again, it's all going to be Brendan out again, isn't it? Because we seem to be going backwards towards that kind of the fans turning again. Yeah,
there was quite a lot of uproar on after the Blackburn defeat with Rodgers. Quite a few Leicester fans wanted Rodgers out way before, and then some new Leicester fans are like, "Well, how much credit's left in the bank?" I was watching a podcast, the Big Strong Leicester Boys podcast. I was listening to that, and they had different views from different fans. Obviously, they've got different fans on, and it was good to hear different views about Brendan and all that. But talk to me, Jason, before we move on to the game, about the captaincy situation. We've had so many captains this season. We've had Johnny Evans, James Maddison, Yuri Tillemans, Jamie Vardy, Mark Albrighton, Wilfred Ndidi. Who is captain, Jason? Who is captain?
I think really, to be honest, it should be given to Maddison.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, is it down to injuries that the captaincy's changed hands so many times? Possibly, but we need a settled. Not just a settled captain, but a settled 11 as well. Hope, barring injuries, of course. But there seems to be so many chopping and changing every other week. It's mad. And if you don't have, you've got to have a settled 11 to even bring in some consistency with results as well.
Yeah, obviously heading into this game as well, the defeat to Arsenal, 1 shot on goal throughout the old game for Leicester. Didn't look great, did it, Jason, last weekend at the King Power Stadium?
No, but I think we gave them far too much respect and far too much time and space on the ball. We know what Arsenal are all about. They're all about attractive attacking football, and they can seriously hurt you if you don't get in amongst them and let them know you're there early doors. They're just gonna run all over you. And I'm actually surprised it stayed 1-0. To be honest, I mean, I don't think Arsenal would have got out of second gear, to be fair. But we were absolutely dire.
Yeah, I think with Leicester, we always seem to get going after 70 minutes, and it's thinking it's like the Blackburn game. We got going after 70 minutes, and you're thinking you've got a hill to climb. You're 2-0 down, and you're thinking, how do we come
already
back
2-0 down?
This? Nacho scores, but we've still got a hill to climb. Blackburn have still got that result to hold on to, and then the Arsenal game came 1-0 down, and Arsenal have got 11 players behind the ball, haven't they, at that point?
Yeah, and we're not that good. We haven't got the ability to break down, a championship side. So we had no chance of breaking down an Arsenal side. We haven't got players that are that good to get in behind them. So as you said, when Arsenal scored and then they put their 11 men behind the ball, we were never going to get back into that.
No, I agree. Southampton are obviously different gravy to Arsenal. You've gone from bistro gravy with Arsenal to I don't know, Tesco's, whatever gravy you want to call it.
Their own brand,
It might not taste as good. Being bottom of the league to playing a top team who's at the top of the league. Let's have a look at the comments. No room for passengers on the pitch tomorrow. Is that something you agree with, Jason, with what Terry said?
Yeah, I said that after the Blackburn game. There seems to be a certain number of players who are basically stealing a wage at the club at the minute. You take into just a few of the performances against Blackburn were absolutely shocking. And it's like other people have said as well, you would have sworn that maybe Blackburn were the Premier League side and we were the Championship side watching that game. But yeah, like you say, we don't need passengers on the pitch. We've got to have everybody pulling their socks up, playing for the shirt, give everything you can to the end of the season now to keep the club in the Premier League.
Yeah, I agree. We've really got to turn up in these next 14 games, give it our best shot, and get the points to get away from this relegation battle, because you're going to keep looking over your shoulder the more games you drop, more points you drop and all that, and it's not where we wanted to be, is it, Jason? If we looked at us at the start of the season, we didn't think we'd be in this sort of mess, would we, come to this stage of the season?
No, definitely not. I think realistically we were looking at hopefully a top 10 finish for the season, and then strengthen again in the summer and then go again and maybe hopefully push for European spots next season. But that's the way it's looking at the minute. We're still looking over our shoulders at what's going on behind us, and results aren't exactly going our way either, because we seem to lose 2 on the bounce, but then teams below us will pick up points, and it just constantly is it all back up again. I think even if we were sat at mid-table at the minute, I'd still be a little bit nervous, looking down on what's going on behind us.
Yeah, I agree. Jason, let's get on to the game. Southampton, Leicester. Let's go through a few things first. Position 20th, Leicester 14th. Played 24, Saints winning 5, Leicester winning 7. 3 draws between both of the sides, and defeats are 16 to Southampton and 14 to Leicester. Interesting stats there, Jason.
There's not an awful lot in it, is there?
Not right. Just 2 wins more. We've got two less defeats.
I think, I think as I said earlier, I think we can safely rule out another 9-0. I'd be happy with a scrappy 1-0 win tomorrow, to be fair. But make no bones about it. This isn't going to be an easy game. Southampton are going to be scrapping for their lives. It might well benefit us, actually, because they're going to have to come out and try and take the game to us to try and get a result themselves. So will that leave them open for our counter-attack and get Barnes in behind them for Iheanacho to score the goals, or even Barnes to score himself? Again, Harvey Barnes he's one of those. He can have a couple of really good games, but then about 2 or 3 bad games. So he's due another good one.
Yeah, this game is like no means easy for Leicester.
No.
Saints, you could say, have been really poor this season, but then we look at Leicester and we've had poor moments this season more than good moments. And, we're on 24 points, they're on 18, so we're 6 points ahead from 20th. I don't think it'd be as easy as most fans are making out. I'm expecting a tricky game. This could be a banana skin game for Leicester, because this always seems to be a game where you're thinking to yourself how poor these teams are. They turn up against Leicester. If you've looked at Leicester over the years, teams have been poor, but then they come and play Leicester and they're thinking, we might lose it. But then all of a sudden they get a win and they take us by surprise. And then Southampton at home, talking to you before the show, I seen a stat today that they haven't won a Premier League home game since Chelsea back in August. And I think that says a lot about their home form, doesn't it, Jason, going into this one?
Yeah, definitely. As you say, tomorrow is not going to be easy at all. But you mentioned that the teams turn up when they play in Leicester. That's probably down to the fact that we're seen as a bigger club than Southampton, and it's like we're one of the big boys compared to them, if you like. No disrespect to Southampton, of course, but our recent history, we've won the Premier League, we've won the FA Cup, so we've had recent success with and as obviously seen as a bigger club. So they would see a victory against us as a massive scalp, and other teams down there would obviously feel the same. You always look for the old adage: are there 3 teams worse than us in the league at the minute?
Who would you say? If you're looking at a table now, Jason, obviously I haven't talked to you about the relegation, of who you think is going to go down. Looking at the table, Jason, with the teams that are in that mix now, the Palaces, the Forest, the Leicesters and all that, who do you think realistically could go down from now until the end of the season?
Oh, dear, it's tough. I mean, at the minute, you would obviously say Southampton are obviously... Yeah, just a bit. Southampton are obviously favourites. You've got Bournemouth as well, haven't you? I think those two for sure. I think the 17th spot is up for grabs, if you like, from about another 6 or maybe five or six other clubs, including ourselves. I think Leeds would probably go as well. Yeah.
Interesting. We've obviously got to look out for James Ward-Prowse's free kicks. I don't think we could give Southampton any sort of...
Yeah, we've got to do our homework on that and try and obviously...
Fouls.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to try and... Yeah, I mean, obviously, if fouls near the halfway line or whatever, that's fine. But don't be giving him any opportunity. You know, like we've got Maddison who can put them in from 25 yards out. You know, don't give him the chance to get, take a free kick and put us under pressure and maybe score a goal.
Yeah, I think with Leicester tomorrow, they've got to give it their all. They've got to go into the game confident from the first minute to the 90. But then it all comes down to Brendan's tactics and team selection and all that. And, that's what kind of like bugs you in it, Jason, as a Leicester fan, the manager's tactics and that. And because he don't seem to change things till very late on.
Yeah, I mean, why not just start with, say, if Maddison's fit tomorrow, play him behind a front two of Iheanacho and Vardy, because we've seen before those two can play up front as a twosome. They read each other pretty well. We used to score some good goals while those two were playing up front and Maddison sat in behind. So why not just give it a go?
No, I agree. Let's have a look at the comments. Daka on Nacho up front, pace and power. Yeah, I think that could be an advantage. Or even that centre back for them, the guy who scored against Grimsby, he seems to be getting a few fouls and red cards and all that. So he seems to be a bit of a dodgy defender. But yeah, they lost to Grimsby on Wednesday night. Leicester obviously losing to Blackburn. Yeah. It's ones that they both want to forget about. Obviously, let's have a look at Premier League head-to-head. In the Premier League, they both played 33 against each other. Leicester have come out on top, winning 13. Southampton winning 8. 12 draws. Is there any particular game, obviously, that out of the games that you've seen with Southampton over the years, Jason, that you would say, what a game, a memorable game? Obviously, we know which one I think you're going to go with, and it's this one. That was the last Foxes win at St Mary's, the 9-0 win.
Yeah, that's always going to be the one that stands out more than any other, isn't it? Because I think, for the most part, I think games over the seasons v Southampton haven't been really anything to write home about. They've usually been scrappy, and you don't really. It's one of those games where you just kind of like let it go to the bottom of the memory banks. But the 9-0 is always going to be that one that stands out for everybody, I think. Yeah,
that was where Wright Bertrand got sent off and Chilwell scored. Perry scored his hat-trick for the club.
That's right.
Loved the goal against Saints. But what a night, Jason, in the rain. Leicester and Brendan Rodgers were dancing in the rain that night, and no one expected it.
No, I mean, even when they had the man sent off early doors, I mean, when it was like 5 at half-time, you did wonder then, was it going to be that kind of night? Is it going to be 7, 8? But we never thought for a minute it was going to be 9. I mean, I think if we'd had another 10 minutes, we might have even got a 10th. We could have got a 10th. But I mean, it's good to have that record. We've got the record for the largest away win, equaled the largest Premier League win of 9-0. But obviously, Man United fans will say, "Yeah, but we've done it twice."
I think it says a lot, though, Jason, since the 9-0 win, how much Leicester's...
We've dropped right off, haven't we? Yeah.
It's been a bit of a spiral. Obviously, won the FA Cup since then, won the Community Shield. Yeah. That was prime Leicester City, wasn't it, the 2019? Yeah. That was when Brendan Rodgers played some fantastic football. We weren't as frustrated. We were quite happy with how things were going. But, 9-0 win against Saints were cracking. Obviously, that was the last win at St Mary's for Leicester. We've had, I believe, 2 draws since then.
Yeah.
One of the games which we needed to win to go and get into the European places were the Champions League, and we failed.
Yeah.
I think that's when Yannick Vestergaard got sent off, wasn't it, Jason, in the draw, the 1-1?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, it says a lot about what we've done since then. Obviously, we brought Vestergaard to the club in Wright Bertrand. So,
yeah, I think they were literally
our transfer business.
That was probably 2 of the worst buys since we have that Akin buy. Panic buys, the late in the window. And as I say, that they're probably 2 of the players who I would quite happily sort of, going back to what I said earlier on about stealing a wage at the club.
Yep, I agree. Premier League last 5 head-to-head. Played 5. Leicester's won 2, drawn 2 with Saints. Saints have beat us once, and that last win was the last game we played them, Jason. A 2-1 defeat for the Foxes.
Yep.
We led the game. We could have won the game, and then we throwed it away. Che Adams come on and scored 2.
Yeah, that was obviously that was the difference at the end of the day. I mean, we don't seem to have that kind of coming off the bench where we've got somebody who we need to score goals. I mean, I know we've got Daka and we've got Vardy there, but we don't seem to have that quality striker to come off the bench to win us the game if we need to. Obviously Southampton had that in Che Adams.
Yeah.
We should have that though. That's the thing. It's what's getting me. We've got enough quality in that squad. We should not even be anywhere near the position we're in at the minute.
No, we've got a good enough squad, Jason. We've got quality in the squad. It just isn't showing it. Is that down to the players not giving enough, or is that down to how Brendan's now put things in the way he wants to play? And you look at it, people sat there and said about Suter, Christensen, Tete, give it 3 weeks or so and there'll be the urgency and that be ripped out of them, innit? The fight and that. And I think, you might.
Yeah,
people might be right.
I mean, Suter and Christensen, I mean, the Blackburn game, I think, they were probably only 2 of maybe 3 or 4 players that could really come out of that game with anything, hold their heads high. The rest of them were just a shambles. Since they've come in, I mean, they've done okay. Again, do you have to give them a little bit longer to try and, bed in? But then, as you say, I mean, they seem to have taken to the pace of the league quite quickly and settled in quite quickly as well.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with
Christensen in particular and Suter, yeah.
Yeah, Daka and Nacho fit enough to do a full 90 minutes. Talk to me about Patson Daka, Jason, before we talk about putting both camps. I mean, he scored 4 against Spartak Moscow in that European night. He scored a few goals. Is he the player to replace Jamie Vardy, Jason, or is it something that Brendan Rodgers now thinks it's a mistake? He could have got a better player.
I don't know. He kind of flatters to deceive a little bit. Yeah, when he scored those 4 against Spartak, you're thinking, bloody hell, this lad's a goal machine.
We thought he were good.
Yeah, he was banging the goals in for, was it Leipzig? Salzburg, sorry.
Yes.
Leipzig.
Yeah, the Austrian Bundesliga side,
Yeah, he was banging, scoring over there for fun. So it's no wonder we brought him in, thinking, would he be the replacement for Vardy? But as it stands at the minute, he's not really getting enough game time. He doesn't start enough. Maybe if he was to start more games, build up his confidence, because I think he's been getting into positions to score. He's just not been finishing.
No.
So I think again, he's still a young lad. He's still probably very much a lot to learn. A confidence player as well. So if he's not scoring, his confidence is gonna take a knock. I think it's a case of do we stick with him and hopefully he'll come good. We'll have to wait and see.
I think when you got a manager like Brendan Rodgers, the so-called elite manager, Jason, you expect all these players to turn out to elite players, don't you? You expect them to be like Mbappe and things like that. But it worked out that way.
Not quite.
Let's look at foot at both camps. Firstly, we'll talk about Wright Bertrand. How do you think his time's come at Leicester then, Jason?
He can take both his feet out of our camp back into Southampton's camp. and Vestergaard. Oh dear.
It's not worked out for him, has it, MP? The Trouble Brothers.
I mean, in a way, it's a shame because I mean, they're not great players, but they're not all that bad players. They don't become really bad players overnight. It's just a case of they've joined us probably at the wrong time. And it just hasn't worked for them. Players can come into a club and hit the ground running, and they're a mainstay in the starting 11. The likes of Bertrand and Vestergaard, it just hasn't worked for them.
I think after we played that Spanish side in pre-season, we thought Bertrand was going to be a good player for us. It's not really worked out. Vestergaard, he's come out with the reports now saying that Brendan Rodgers froze him out. He feels now that he's being badly treated by Brendan Rodgers. He's gave him the cold shoulder and all that, and he's wanted to move, but Leicester's not allowed him to. The £15 million, it's not worked out for Vestergaard. He was in conversation with Brendan Rodgers personally for about a year and a half when he was at Saints, and Brendan Rodgers obviously persuaded him to come to the King Power Stadium, and it don't work for Vestergaard.
I think it was it not so long ago though. He said he was wanting to stay because his wife was having a baby or something.
Yeah,
they couldn't travel or whatever it was. So I don't know. Seems to be a few conflicting reports going on there about what he's been saying or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's players. Sometimes they get on with managers. Sometimes they don't. And it could be just another case where Brendan just doesn't rate him.
Yeah, I agree. He's made a mistake, hasn't he, Jason? I think.
I think so.
And Kevin Phillips, that man,
legend.
Knows where the goal is.
Yeah, definite. He was a quality signing for us. Absolute quality. Scored some vital goals for us in the Championship, and he was like you said. I think he was. You said he was 39 when he finished.
40.
When he played for us, he was 39, something like that.
40. So
I think something like that, yeah. So he's he's done all right for us.
Yeah, he scored that goal against Bournemouth, which Bournemouth didn't believe went over the line. That's when he needed goal line technology.
That's right.
He scored that banger against Blackpool at the King Power Stadium. Kevin Phillips scored some crucial goals for Leicester in that Championship winning season.
Definitely.
The next one, Dean Hammond.
Yeah, well, he was another one that he came to the club and just didn't really work out for him either, did it? He was in and out of the side, played all right. I think when we had him in the middle of the park, he'd sort of put himself about a little bit, but it just never really took off for him.
Yeah, he was a leader, wasn't he, Jason? That sort of experienced player to help the younger players out.
Yeah.
Obviously, we had Cambiasso at the club at that time as well, and
that's right. Yeah.
I guess that helps quite a lot. Obviously, having a Champions League winner at your club, it helps you progress as a player more, even though you got experience anyway. But Dean Hammond was good. I believe he scored against Wigan in the Championship away from home. Dean Hammond wasn't a bad player for Leicester. David Connolly.
Yeah, another one who chipped in with a few goals, didn't he? I think did he score most for us during our League One title campaign? Was it when we was in League One?
I think we had David Connolly in 2006.
Am I thinking tapped?
Was it under Craig Levine? Was it? We had David Connolly, I think.
Is it that far back? I can't remember.
It's a weird one.
Craig Levine, another one. He was another. Yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah, he never ended up any good ever, did he, Jason? Really?
Yeah, he came in from. Where did we sign? Was it Motherwell?
Hearts. Was it Hearts?
Hearts. It was Hearts. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I mean up there he was doing all right with Hearts. He was taking them to, into top ends of the Scottish Premiership, but then came down for us obviously, and again it never really worked out, did it? It was one of those.
Yeah, 2004 and 5 we signed David Connolly. I said 2005. I was thinking 2006 would have been way too much. But yeah. sometimes you for mistake years for other years. But
where does the time go?
Nathan Dyer, Jason, obviously he scored a crucial goal against the Aston Villa in that big comeback in the title-winning season. He was on loan.
That was it.
Fantastic.
Mm. Yeah, another one.
And Matt Oakley, the skipper in League One, led Leicester to the League One title. Did well coming in from Derby. Came in with Steve Howe.
He was massive.
Double signing.
Yeah, he was massive for us. He was another one of those players that you like to have as captain in the middle of the park that could be a leader. Start barking orders at players. And just let them know you're there. And if a player's out of line, you give them what for. He wouldn't take any nonsense.
Yeah, he took over the captaincy from Stephen Clement. Yeah, Matt Oakley was a good captain for Leicester. Did well in his time at Leicester. But then I think he went to Exeter and that during the years of his other end of his career and that. So so players come and go, don't they, Jason? But I think Matt Oakley goes down as one of Leicester's best captains.
One of the best, yeah, definitely.
The next one we are going to talk about, Jason, is team selection to play the Saints. And Jason, we've got to pick an 11 between us. We'll obviously go with Danny Ward in goal.
Do we?
We'll put you in goal if you want, Jason. That's what you want to do. Get
I'd back myself against Danny Ward. I don't know. I mean, Everson's not had much of a go, has he? I mean, he's done all right for us in. I mean, he didn't really paint himself in glory on Tuesday against Blackburn, but then
quite a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I think obviously. Sometimes do you want to change it that much? Then even switch the goalkeeper. But yeah, I think I said earlier on we need a settled 11. So yeah, you probably start off with Danny Ward in goal.
Christensen, Wout Faes, Harry Souttar.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you choose for right back? Do you go Ricardo or Castagna?
Personally, I'd go Ricardo. If he's fully fit, back to full fitness, I'd go Ricardo.
Yep. Midfield, Papi Mendy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Keenan Dewsbury Hall.
Keenan Dewsbury Hall in there as well, yeah.
James Maddison.
Madison's if he's fit, yeah. Tielemans is injured, isn't he? He's going to be out for 6 weeks.
And then we come to our front three. Tete, he'll be in there, I'm sure.
Yeah, another start. I think he's just going to grow in confidence more and more. He gets game time.
Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes will be the other side, yeah.
And then Kelechi Iheanacho.
I think you've got to have Nacho at top, yeah, as well. Will it be a change of formation if things aren't going too well? Will he go two up top, like I said earlier? Maybe have Iheanacho and Vardy and Maddison playing in behind them two. We'll have to wait to see. But with Brendan, we just we're kind of second guessing him every week, aren't we?
Yeah, I think he brought them all on, didn't he? Against Blackburn, he already had Vardy on, then he brought Iheanacho on, then he brought Daka on, and you think,
he's kind of went for it big time.
Front here. He's got 5 up front, so
yeah,
it didn't work out. But it's a game that these players need to put a shift in now. They've got a target of 40 points where they need to get to. 5 wins and a draw. So at the next 14 games, it's possible if we turn up in games and we can get it.
Yeah, we've got to treat every game every game's a final from here on in. Yeah.
Jason, then score prediction.
Right. Well, again, it's not going to be easy, but
you're not confident, Jason.
only because of how we've played the last couple of games. I mean, if it went for the Arsenal, how bad we were against Arsenal and Blackburn, I'd probably be more confident. But I'll take a sneaky, scrappy 1-0 win.
1-0. Guys, get your comments in. Let me know your score predictions. May's got 1-3, 3-1 Leicester or 2-0. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Leicester. I'm going to go 2-1. I'm going to go Ward-Prowse to score from a free kick.
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. That's bound to happen.
Yeah, and I'm going to go Maddison if he's fully fit to play. And Kelechi Iheanacho. I'm going to Iheanacho score.
Yeah.
We lose at Saints. Surely Brendan has to be sacked. See, that's the big talking point, isn't it, Jason? If we do lose to Southampton, is it big talk about Brendan Rodgers again?
It will be, of course. I mean, I've been Brendan in and out more times than Hilky Koki this season. It's been, it's like we'll go on a little run, we'll win a couple of games, and we'll maybe draw one. We'll have a nice little run, and then it's been like 2 steps forward, 3 steps back all season. And it's those 3 steps back, then the rumblings of Brendan out all come back again. I mean, I said it last week. I said it's surely got to be time to make a change. Other teams around us have done it, and for the most part, you've seen that kind of new manager bounce kick in. How long do the owners give it before they suddenly think, well, hang on a minute, if we do go down, how much money they are going to lose as the owners of the club as a whole, because we're not going to be able to attract top players if we're starting in the Championship, and gate attendances will drop. The King Power will become like a ghost town again.
Yeah, I feel Brendan, he can't have any excuses after they brought him the players that he wanted in the January window, Jason.
That's right. Yeah, he wanted it.
He's clearly the manager and not the players.
This is it. Yeah, I think for the most part, he tries to overthink or tries to outthink the opposition manager.
If plan A is not working, he'll go to plan A, but he ain't got a plan B, but he'll go to plan. He'll make it plan A, but try and make it better.
Plan 8.1.
Brendan Rodgers. No, just fingers crossed we can get a positive result, Jason. I think we need it.
It's the late kickoff as well, isn't it? 5 o'clock.
Yeah, 5:30.
5:30. Sorry, yeah.
Sky Sports. If anyone's not going to the game, it'll be on
or
Sky Sports.
On your dodgy Fire Stick.
Unless you're on dodgy Fire Stick, Jason. No, cheers. Thanks for coming on, Jason. Appreciate
no worries, buddy. Anytime. Cheers.
That was Jason, the Ginger Postie. Great guest. Jack. If you guys are going to St. Mary's, sing your hearts out for the lads. Yeah, we need to get behind the boys tomorrow. Sing our hearts out. Let's go and make it a game where we can win. It's a big game, a massive game for the Foxes tomorrow. No doubt about it. And yeah, the players really need to go and turn up tomorrow. Give us a performance we can be proud of, and go put a shift in and go and get them 3 crucial points, because we really need it. So, guys, thank you for watching tonight. KFC Dad's going 3-2. Yeah, thanks for watching tonight, guys. As always, really appreciate you all getting involved tonight. If you can and you've enjoyed the stream, smash a like for me as always. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed already, please go and do so. If you're watching on playback, get your thoughts in the comments of what you think to tomorrow's game against Saints away, and let's go get them wins, Foxes. What's coming up on the final whistle then? So we've got the matchday vlog coming out tomorrow night, so look out for that. We've got the review coming out from Saints away. That'll be Monday, and then we've got the Manchester United women versus Leicester City women on Sunday. So I'll be doing a match day vlog there at Lee Sports Village. So check that out as well. Go and let me know what you think to the game and the vlog itself. So busy on the final whistle. We've got the prediction show coming up next week as well. We'll fingers crossed have a Chelsea fan on for next Friday for you guys to get an insight into Chelsea and their season as they take on Leicester next weekend at the King Power Stadium. So, guys, thanks for watching. As always, take care. And, yeah, if you see me at the game tomorrow, come and give me your predictions as always. It'd help with the matchday vlog and that. It's good to get different fans on in the vlogs and get to people's views. Guys, also go check out the Premier League predictions, week 26 for me. That is live on the channel. So if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your Friday evening, everyone. I'm off to St. Mary's tomorrow, so come on, you Foxes. Let's go, City. Take care, everyone, and good night.